Uh-oh. This is a recording of a live stream. It may contain bloopers and frequent distractions. The audio and video quality may vary. Thank you for your understanding, and please enjoy.
Ladies and gentle beards, welcome to another session of Northern Adventures, episode number 10. If I'm not mistaken, we have on board our great and foremost and bestest storyteller, DM Jax.
Hello, that's me. I also go by JD sometimes. Yeah, the guy who just introduced us is Kormakrtv, the beautiful Viking from Australia, who is playing also a dwarf, who is also a blood hunter, and is kind of like a bear, as we are going to find out.
Spoilers!
What?
His brother in arms is played by dear Mr. Fenris. How are you doing, my man?
Doing good. Finally, the heat is gone. I hope for you too.
Is it? Oh, I'm suffering. We have 25 degrees. I'm living under the roof as well.
It was grey and almost rainy all the day. Strong, cool winds. It's really nice here.
Alrighty. Then we have another human that is who's called Blath, who is a ranger with his favorite enemy being undead, who just
Revised ranger.
who just currently joined the Order of the Gauntlet. How are you doing, Mr. Matt, the one and only?
Dude, the temperature outside right now is 50% less than on Sunday, and I'm so happy because I can have pants on. It's great. I'm super psyched.
Wait, you like pants? Nothing like wearing no pants, only underwear.
Well, after a long time, my friend, you'll come to realize a leather chair isn't that great in your boxer shorts.
Wait, are you saying? Alrighty, and last but by no means least, Mr. Dino playing the Dragonborn Zraythas, who is Silver Scale.
Yes.
How are you doing, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. Like last week, it was just too hot. It was like 28, 29 degrees inside. So finally it cooled down to 22. I'm still looking for an air conditioner for when it gets hotter again, because it's really not bearable. But other than that, doing good. It's now just grey outside, a little bit of rain, so doing alright.
Sounds great. Glad to hear that. Apologies first and foremost to all our viewers. We are a little bit late. That's all thanks to me. You can blame me if you like. Although we usually started around actually 6:30 now, if I remember correctly. Also, unfortunately, we are missing Mr. Ratsy today. He is suffering a little bit of a headache and is knocked out for today, unfortunately.
1 second silence.
But that shall not hinder us from venturing out. As always, let's start with a quick recap of what happened. I have no clue who did it last time. I think it was Dino, right?
It was Fenris the last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We had Ratsy, Korm, Fen, then Dino, it's your turn this time, if you don't mind.
No, I've already been. Like, I was second.
I think this time it was last time the choice was between me, Korm, and Matt, but Matt wasn't there, so it was between Korm and me, and Korm friendly pushed me ahead.
That's true. Apologies in that case, since you have been there for the last time, Mr. Matt, would you do us the honor?
Oh no, Korm said he had a perfect fucking recap. He actually said he was gonna recap, so I didn't keep it in mind.
Well, that's an amazing recap, but
okay,
a lot has happened for your character, Blath, especially.
Yeah. I'm just not sure where we started last time. I could probably remember what happened after then.
We started in the evening in the yawning portal after Zraythas was the target of a sending spell, and you were summoned by the Black Staff herself.
Of course, yes. That is true, yes. So we got a summon. We discussed whether we should go together or not, or when we should go, or how much we should drink ahead of going. Came with a great compromise. I think was Rurik. No, Rurik wasn't drunk. Somebody was drunk, but we got there. We went in this magnificent, secretive, scary-looking tower with magic in it, and we had a meeting with the leader. Forgot her bloody name. Hang on, I've got the notes over here.
Ayara Zafar.
Yes.
You could just look up in the journal.
I know.
She is a two-limbed human with a dark skin color, who's fairly young for being like the archmage of the city.
She's got cool staff as well.
That is the black staff, what the title is named after, from what you've heard. It's an artifact. All right, yeah, continue. You met the black staff. True.
Yes. And she wanted us to join the Order of the Gauntlet, and we had a little.
That's not all right.
Wait.
That's wrong.
I lied.
She offered you to join the Grey Hands.
The Grey Hands. Shit.
Initiate order of Force Grey.
There we go. Yes.
But you swore an oath, indeed, to join.
All of us did. Mm-hmm.
Go on.
What happened next was we went home. I believe, yes. And then during the night, Blath got a invite to go somewhere. I believe this is the right time frame. Yeah, he was walking up in the morning. Yeah, he was invited on a date. Well, he was preparing for his date. The others went shopping. They met a few characters, including what's this guy called? They were in Troll Skull, like talking to different people, like Vincent Trench, the vampirish, weird-looking investigator guy.
The inventor of the trench coat.
Yep. Yes,
Indeed.
that's why it's called Trench.
You haven't asked him, but so you figured.
I don't think anything extremely crazy happened there, but
no, they went shopping as well. They grabbed some potions of water breathing for the. You all wish to deal with Agnes Siltslip, as you have promised to someone very powerful, and you want to honor your end of the bargain. And then we cut to black and switched over to Blath's perspective. Your meetup with the Savra Bellabranta, a noble from Waterdeep, female, a beautiful lady covered in plate armor and an agent of the Order of the Gauntlet, wished to have lunch with you. You met up in the Halls of Justice, which is a temple dedicated to the Dragon Father and Almighty God of Light and War, which is Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon. And you had a little bit of conversation, and the end she asked you to join, and Blath indeed accepted. As you have told us, you didn't expect it yourself necessarily, but you made.
No, I was super surprised actually.
I think it makes sense, and you now have some allies in the for fighting the common enemy of undead, which is your favorite enemy. Afterwards, she showed you some techniques unlocking your archetype feature, the Horde Slayer from the Hunter archetype, if I recall correctly.
Yes, that's right.
Because you want to be very good killing many zombies and such. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's where we called it a day. That would be around 3-4 p.m.-ish in the afternoon. The sun is still out. For the first time in the past few days, it's slightly warmer. Not that dark, cloudy, and rainy anymore, but the thick layer of clouds is actually pierced by a few god rays from the sun, illuminating parts of the city. As you see flying above still a few griffin riders just patrolling around the air, having a look around. As you wait for your comrade, you have actually a date. A few sessions ago, you talked and got to know the Trollskull Manor with Volo and agreed that if you're interested, you would meet here in the evening at around 5 or 6 p.m. In front of Trollskull Manor, and he shall introduce you to a friend of his who could potentially be your housekeeper if you wish so. Also, you need to do the formal things of completing the transaction. Volo has mentioned that a magistrate has to certify the what's the wording again?
The
The
deed?
transfer of the
The
deed?
transfer of the deed. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. So there you stand out there, waiting in the spring sun, enjoying the little tickle on your skin as either you do or do not like it. Anyway, the sun is there. You stand there and wait a little bit, and still, from the end of the road, you see your dear friend Blath approach with a somewhat grin on his face. He seems fairly lucky and happy. Please, Bluff, you walk along the road, almost having a good day, just
Feeling super self-important.
super important. Yeah, just walking by the old, the new tavern that is not open yet, but potentially some competition for you. A few commoners go by that you grin at and greet them. They kind of have a odd look at you. Ew. And you see your friends in the end in front of the manor. Just get up from the veranda, and there you go.
Greetings, friends.
Greetings, Blath. What you
Go.
doing? You look like a walking sunshine. What happened?
I just had a lovely day with a lovely lady.
Oh, you told me you get lucky, did you?
Very lucky. Very lucky.
Was she like?
I want to roll insight on that.
You go
He's
ahead.
boasting too much. He's boasting too much.
Wait, I'm not talking about sex, but okay.
First roll of the day.
You go ahead and can make a deception check, Bluff.
No, I'm not trying to deceive. I'm just.
You're just happy. Yeah, he appears to be telling the truth. He's very happy. If that is what really happened, you're not sure, but at least it felt like that for him. So,
Yeah. I learned a few tricks, a few new tricks as well.
Few new
Stop
tricks.
there. Too much information.
Oh, come on, tell me more.
Well, Rune, you may need to cover your ears. But I've joined the Order of the Gauntlet.
Oh.
Have you heard of them, Rune?
Religious fanatics. Goody two-shoes.
Very good at fighting.
What do you mean, like very good at fighting? Are like religious fanatics not good at praying?
Not good at fighting evil.
They like to fight evil.
Oh, well, that might come in handy or not.
They might not look kindly upon our methods, brother.
No worries, guys. I went through the paperwork. Premarital sex is a-okay. No worries. I'll be the same.
he's like
drinking. I lied.
You probably haven't asked her, have you?
Figured she'd tell me if there was anything.
Maybe.
I kind of asked.
Did you warn them about your gambling problem?
Well, sort of, yes. If it
This
will
is
be a
gonna be
problem,
interesting times.
future problems will be handled by future Blath. For now,
Mhm.
we've got our house to get done.
You mean our ruined soon-to-be house?
Yes.
Well, I think that sounds like a plan. Talking of our house, when do you think I will follow and his acquaintance appear?
I'll look up into the sky looking for the sun.
As you reflect on what time it might be, have a look around and check out the manor that could be yours in a bit. The Trollskull Manor, 4-story tall, with several balconies and such. You're standing in front of right now. You look around, calculate the time, and think, yeah, it should be about time. And that's just as you think that, you look into the distance and at your horizon at the edge of the street, you see a small fella appear that you are also familiar with. Your friend, the almighty Volofamp Gedarum, who is wearing, as always, his bard's cap with his pompous clothing, very noble. Looks pretty short for a human, and has a magnificent mustache he keeps groomed. As he walks by, you see he is accompanied by a small individual, even smaller individual than any of you, smaller than Rune especially. Maybe half the size of
Rurik. I think you mean Rurik.
sorry, of Rurik, obviously. Pardon me. That one is even so like just half as big as Volo is, with his not who is that tall for a human either. From the distance, you can't tell if it's a gnome or a halfling, but he's wearing green robes and has very exotic blue hair with a long mustache. He's kind of his eyes darting around. He seems a little bit, well, your passive insight, let's put it that way, is that he's not very accustomed to this place. Um, You're not sure if he's new to the city or just this district. But those two approach, just having a chat. As Volo sees you in the distance, you actually see him waving at you. Hey, friends, how are you doing? Hi, it's a pleasure to see you all, since that means you accept my offer of this very home, the deed, instead of the coins.
Indeed.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. We're more than happy to get on our hands on this.
Well, as promised, I shall introduce you to a very good friend of mine who is also very smart and could help you with a lot of things. He is, well, maybe new to the city, same as you, but he is very smart and very keen on being up to date on all the rules and laws. So please, may I introduce to you my dear friend Taurus. Taurus, leaf fall. Pleasure.
Taurus
As he-
Greetings.
I will unlock the entry in the journal. He will be
Okay.
found under artisans for you guys.
Artisans.
There you go.
Ah, there.
Taurus
Leafall.
Leaffall with a forced grin. This little this little gnome, greets you. His eyes still darting around. Pleasure. I might be on your housekeeper. I've been told. Since I've owed this one a favor for quite some time, this seems very, very kind offer to see it resolved with just housekeeping for the month. If you would like to use my services any further, you obviously have to pay me. But I hope that's not a problem, is it, gentlemen?
How
Well, if you
about...
do your work good, gnome, nah.
For
How
his
about-
size and how he acts, he looks very, very self-confident. His whole body language is very extroverted, with arms to the side and a lot of gestures.
Oh, how about you tell us a bit about yourself, your work experience, so we get a better impression of what kind of services you can offer.
You haven't told him anything, have you? I don't tell much about my personal stuff. And my work experiences are very limited. But trust me, I am very smart and very good at whatever I am doing. I shall prove it to you in a month. And if you're unhappy, because this month is for free as mentioned, if you're unhappy, I will just leave.
What do
I'm
you
not
get?
here to make friends.
Zraythas, Blath, what do you think about this little fella?
I'd
sounds
say
like
let's give
pass
him a
up
chance.
a free month.
Oh,
We
well,
don't stand to lose anything, do we?
I assure you, he is, although odd, a very kind individual who, well, is first and foremost after coin. But you have the coin, and he's not that expensive. He usually makes around 2 gold pieces per day, so you should be able to afford it. 2 gold pieces? Fuck you. Free it is afterwards, but we can talk about that later, shall we?
Let's get a sample of your work during the month, and then we'll decide.
Right. Shall we enter the mansion, and I can walk you and talk you through everything that needs to be done?
Sure.
Because as I assume you have no clue what you're getting yourself into opening a business in the great city of Splendors. Follow.
I assume a lot of investments. A lot of investments.
And there is one more thing. There is some sort of poltergeist.
Not a poltergeist, but something.
So what? Are you afraid?
No, just letting you know.
Well, then enter. What's the problem?
Let's get inside.
Humanoids.
We have our own key, so I'll walk up to the door, unlock, and get inside.
Indeed, you have the key. You don't know if it's the only one, but you have quite some keys. Alrighty. As you push open the door with it, entering the interior of your soon-to-be manor and tavern, you enter the tap room, leading Volo and this little odd gnome to the inside. You see him taking out a scroll, it seems. It is actually a parchment affixed to 2 wooden handles, pretty much. And he just rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls until there's about 2 meters of paper. I've been doing some preparations for you, if you don't mind. Well, let's put it that way. Since I don't know you, but from how you appear, you're not really interested in all the little details, are you?
Actually, it might not be bad to know.
Alrighty, so how Waterdeep and the City of Splendors usually works is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with all the guilds already. It is very, very unlikely, let's put it that way, because there are over 350 guilds around here. The guilds have their own business, their own workers. If it's the dung sweepers or the innkeepers, everyone has their guild, and everyone who opens business either pays them and joins them, or gets wrecked. So that's kind of the first choice you have to make.
Okay.
An obvious one, if I do say so myself.
Yes.
Well, with all that said, the guild charges some minor fees. Those are not too expensive, to be honest. Well, although at the starting you would have to pay around 250 gold pieces for guild licenses and contracts. Those are all paid up front and covers all 53 of the guilds that have some kind of contact with your inn.
250.
Yes. There is usually a fee for picking up a contract, seeing a magistrate, and all that.
Sounds like the city is getting its money from a lot of paperwork.
Well, the money gets spread out to, as I've mentioned, 53 guilds, that is. You will have to do most of the time meet the Dung Sweepers Guild, who will take care of all your, waste.
Shite.
Let's put it that way. Not just shite, but all the waste that happens. There is also the Witness, Distillers and Brewers Guild, obviously, who oversees any brewing processes you might do yourself in here and will certify it with a sigil of their own. And obviously the Guild of Butchers and the Guild of the Innkeepers. For that's what you do, right? You might want to sell some food. Therefore, you want to have some meat. And the innkeepers, see over which drinks are certified to be sold in the interior. Those are the biggest ones.
Okay.
I would highly advise you to take licenses with all of them, although you can, spare some coins there. In the long run, it will not suit you, I can assure you.
Well, it makes sense because all that we produce up here must to at least go somewhere. Otherwise, we'll have our knees dip and shit.
As mentioned, that is for the licenses, as well as the contracts, everything paid up front before you can open your business. Since it is in a very, peculiar state, you might want to spend some money and renovate that thing, right? I've did some calculations and talked to some smiths and carpenters. You should be able to, with spending only around 500 gold pieces, to get this thing in a ready state. And I'm talking about the whole manor, not just the tavern. Yes, 500 gold pieces. If you want to renovate all the interior. Obviously, you can stagger that. If you see, for example, and only want to open the tavern while not using the upper rooms for yourself at the time being, around 100 gold pieces should do for furniture and the like. Once you've spent that many coins, it will be only about around 10 dragons for the guild fees paid per 10 day, which means 30 a month. And assuming that you want to reopen it and hire some staff, hirelings, maids, brewers, cooks, and the like, for maintenance, keeping everything in order, as well as the wages for those hirelings, would account for around 50 gold pieces at the end of each 10 day.
I just look at Zraythas like, you're gonna have to do some heavy lifting, bro.
I look at the gnome and like, so far we've seen a lot of expenses. What are the awaited profits then?
Well, depending on how business goes, how you promote it, and potentially spend money on promotion and marketing, but you're usually around 100 gold pieces per 10 day that can be made.
You see him like go with his fingers and thinking about how they have to spend.
That makes around 40 gold pieces of profit per 10 day if you do a good job.
That is that? I don't think that is as much.
According to my calculation, that would be 30 per 10 day. Also, with all the spending beforehand, it would take us at least 3 or 4 months before we get positive numbers.
Assuming everything goes right.
May I correct you there, dear scaled friend? It is actually 40 gold pieces. Hence 50 plus 10 is 60, and 100 minus 60 is 40. That's why I do the business and the paper, not you.
May I give you a general advice?
Yes, it will take a few months to repay. Obviously.
May I give you a general advice there, Taurus?
No.
Do not insult your future boss.
I'm not insulting. I'm talking numbers and facts.
I look at Zraythas like with a side view, like, is he getting angry?
Big mouth for a little guy.
So, that's my calculation so far. That's what he has wrote out to you and explained to you as you went through. Wrote 2 meters of paper. This scroll, however, seems to be endless. Like literally, he can scroll and has fresh paper. It's a magic item. It appears to be a wondrous one. Well then, so much to that.
Well, I would say, guys, that we give this. Oh, it feels so good to say it. Give this little fella a try, and now after a month you said, right? After a month, we'll see if
3 10-day studies.
He's doing his job good. Then we might even talk about your 3 golds per day. If
We
not,
will see to that. But your alternative is going through all the paperwork yourself, making contact with round and about 57 individuals, having a talk to each of them. And
I got when you're important. You're important. But what do you guys say? I say we'll give this little fella a try, and I say aye.
Let's give him a month.
Yeah, sure.
I should also throw in the reason that I have contacts, and should you want some other artisans in your very manner, I could, well, blow some whistles and get you hooked to the best of the best. Obviously, you should have to work for them.
I kind of nudge Volo as well, and like whisper, like, if this goes out the window, you got more people lined up, right?
He kind of pulls his collar. Yeah, sure, Blath. Obviously. I'm a man with many friends. Not all of them being Jesus.
Good. You want to make sure not to lose us.
Please. I didn't mean to be rude. You have to get used to me as I have to get used to you. I can assure you that I am a very capable individual who is also a nice friend to have, as you also pay for my protection for your inn. And that is not to be underestimated.
Well, I like you, little fella. You're straightforward. You're not like this fancy pants from the Magisters or whatever we meet before, who are like just blushing themselves up and talk and talk and talk and.
How these black robes can suck my gnome balls, as hairy as they are. Go fuck them all.
Whoa.
Well, rather you than me. Have your fun, little Taurus.
Sorry, was a joke. Volo. He's like jaw drop. Yes, obviously. As mentioned, we have an appointment with a magistrate if you want to make that transfer of the deed official.
Let's go.
I would say yes. Let's do this.
He points to the door, and just as it's around 6 p.m. now, right? Last hour for official business in the city, usually. He leads you to. Oh, pardon me. the castle ward. So that is close to the, or rather the same ward that the yawning portal is in, as you know. You walk down south along the wide roads. Go for a stroll in the evening sun, as there is a little bit of awkward silence. But you stop at a a very ornate house made out of stone, 4 stories tall, is not unusual in the castle ward. Very ornate with many pillars and even some gargoyles on the roof. It is the office of some magistrates, it seems. As you push open the door and enter, you just by a secretary get nodded at and pointed to some chairs over there as Volo leads you there, and you kind of play with your thumbs for a little bit until around 5 minutes later. Gentlemen, it is your turn. Please enter.
Oh, finally.
It's our time. You get up. Taurus still with you. He wants to have a look at everything. Official, he says. And you enter a little bureau where you see a red-skinned individual, one, I think, a race you have not met so far, at least not all of you. Although soft and humanoid face and statue, red-skinned and with horns, this very elegantly dressed lady sits in front of you at a giant desk with some glasses on her face. That's a tiefling, as you are being told. Few of you knew already, but there she is. She is wearing the black robes of a magister and greets you. Welcome, welcome, for you have friends in high places. Usually I do not meet people that late, but it's a pleasure to see you, Volo, obviously. Well then, my name is Kylene. Kylene Silmerhelv, and I am, well, part of the Order of the Magisters and Protectors. And therefore, it is my job to certify that transfer of the deed as formally requested by the city council himself. Very well. Mr. Gedan. Yes, thank you, Colleen. Pleasure. He pulls out a scroll in a leather case. May I? Colleen picks it up, goes for everything. Alrighty. Looks standard. The Trollskull Manor, have you not purchased it? Only a few weeks ago. Well, things get complicated sometimes. Alrighty. She starts writing and setting up a contract, it seems. At the end of which there are 2 lines for signature, it seems. She is handing them to you, where Volo takes the contract, just flies over it real quick, and sets down his signature at the bottom. Please, so do the gentlemen. Shall we transfer it to one of, or rather all of you?
Good question. He looks at the group. I would say all of us.
We earned together, we keep it together.
Well then, please all sign, as she draws a few more lines until there are 5. Please, there you go. And she hands them to you, Rurik, with a very ornate pencil. There you go.
With just a very known movement, he saw his name
over half of the page.
And passes it on to Rune.
To Rune. Rune sets down his signature as well.
Yeah.
Anything special about it?
I think
you
it's
sign
just
it with blood.
Nah, there's nothing. It's a nice handwriting, considering he's quite dexterous. So I assume he's got really nice handwriting, really beautiful.
Please don't take too much time. I don't.
And
have
then he hands
all
us off to
day.
the next person.
Blath just grabs it like.
Kalin is just rolling eyes. Blath is just.
I'm looking at like Blath, who probably like does 3 X's because he can't even spell his own name.
Yeah, he's not used to fighting things. Like, why? What are they doing? And then he sees their name and he's like, okay, Blath, and then hands it to Zraythas.
So of course, as being noble, I will have a very nice and ornate signature, and I just read it over real quick and then hand it back.
While you do so, you feel you're very big, right? You feel a little pinch on the side of your robe. Looking down, you see Taurus next to you. Let me read through it real quick, if you don't mind.
Well, all right, here you go. And I hand it over.
You see him speed read through that in twice the speed that you do. And gives a nod. Everything's in order. You may sign.
Too late already, Dad. And I'll pick it up from him and hand it over.
And last but not least, hand it back to Kalin. Well, thank you, gentlemen. This almost wraps up the, transmittance of this very deed and manner and property. Still, I need the 25 gold pieces of transfer tax commonly paid by the new owners of an estate.
Well, fellow, you forgot to mention something. Of course, since you wanted to give this instead of paying us, I think this seems fit.
Is this not where you come from? I thought this would be like that everywhere. Apologies for not mentioning that, but that is commonly known, common knowledge.
Well, you should have paid us, and you give us the deed to something. I don't expect to have to pay for something that you should pay.
It's kind of making a point there, Volo. So far, you have given us a lot of money to pay on our end and nothing that we got.
Make a persuasion roll, Dino, with advantage, due to assistance from Rune.
Keep my 20.
With advantage, come on, you can do it. Oh wow! Good thing you have advantage.
Well, I assume, since I have not told you so, that I will cover them, milady. Kind of rolls with his eyes, puts down his pouch, and counts 25 dragons on the table. There you go, gentlemen. Now, have fun with your new deed. It says Kalin in a fairly deep voice, I'd say, a very grunty voice, while she spills some seal wax onto that very contract. Puts in a little piece of cloth, it seems, and presses it on with a seal of hers, of the Majesty's, it seems. There you go. You are now officially the new owners of Troscal Manor.
Thank you very kindly.
Now leave me be, please. And she kind of waves you out as she takes off her glasses and kind of looks out of the window until you're gone. You kind of feel like Volo pulling and pushing you out of the door, kind of like, congratulations, gentlemen. You're now officially populace of the City of Splendors. How do you feel?
Not very different.
A little hungry.
Like there's a lot of work and costs coming up for us very soon.
Oh well, if you're hungry, I shall show you a nice place to eat for this evening, for it is time to celebrate, is it not? Taurus, you may leave us. Well, thank you. I didn't want to join you anyway. Have a nice evening. I shall see you in the morning. Will you sleep in your new manor, or where can I reach you?
Right now we
We will-
still have the yawning portal rooms, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
until
how
the
long
end
do
of
we
the
have?
day. I think 2 or 3 more
Until
days.
until the end of the 10-day. That is 3 more days.
Okay.
Well, then, in the yawning portal, you can find us.
Then the yawning portal it shall be. Until then, I wish you farewell. As he makes a very elegant bow, the noblest you have seen so far. Well, there you go. And he picks off the little dwarf. You actually, sorry, not dwarf, gnome. Obviously, it's not a dwarf. That would be odd. Although a dwarf with blue hair would be nice as well. I suppose.
It's a half dwarf.
That will be Cormac's new character.
Kormakrtv is about to die.
Blood Wolf and the Blue Wolf.
Oh.
Something. Well, Volo takes you out to dine at the very edge of the northward. Once again, shows you a new restaurant at the edge of the cliff where you get this beautiful, beautiful view as the sun goes down and you can see the blazing flame ball hit the horizon just as you wrap up eating and share a glass of wine or ale in a very fine establishment at the edge of town. Volo raises his glass of red wine and says, "To you, my new friends, it's been an honor so far, and it shall go on like that.
To you, Vola.
Cheers." Until it gets dark, you have some conversation until 10 or so, until Volo pays the bill for your huge meal. You had some very extravagant food. A speciality from a little further up north that is known as crumble cake was served to you as an appetizer. It is pretty much it is spicy pastry with meat of turkey and herbs and spices in there wrapped inside. It would be a very good on the road snack actually. You've really enjoyed those. Apart from that, it was good poultry and chicken, pretty much chicken, turkey, whatever you wished for. Very fine restaurant. Until later the evening, Volo, after paying the bill, as mentioned, well, my friends, I guess it's time to say farewell. Although I hope to see you soon, since you now live very close by, do you not? I
We'll
wish
let you know.
best of wishes to you and your new property. And also keep me up to date concerning that little ghost or something that is.
I'm curious.
Haunting
We'll
that
find out
place.
what it is.
Anything in particular you want to know, Vola? For maybe your book you're writing on?
Well, I was hoping I could talk to it, and I don't know. Well, if that works. I haven't studied these things that thoroughly, but I suppose someone who is undead could be talked to. Yes,
I will keep that in mind, and if I can,
I might gain some insight by talking through it. That would be.
then
most
I
pleasant.
will
Thank you very
make
much.
a call for you and bring you over to talk to it.
I'm not quite sure if undead should be talking.
Oh well, you never know. There are good undead as well. I've been told. I mean, just imagine you being you, but a zombie. Would that be odd? Yes. Would you be evil? I don't know.
I'm not convinced.
Well, okay. So from a scientific point of view, an undead is just a vessel, and it depends on what is inside. If it's an evil spirit or soul of a good thing. But that would obviously be too much to talk about and get in depth now. I wish you farewell. Have a good night's rest, and I see you in the next few days, if you don't mind.
Good night to you, Volo.
All right.
Good
Put
night.
up pulls off his hat, and you see that he's balding very slowly. Kind of adjusts it and then grooms his mustache and walks off as you're in the streets. the northward, where your new home stands. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna keep an eye out for fucking birds.
What? Why?
Because we keep getting jumped by birds.
Oh,
I'm just expecting
Kenko.
them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I have to go and pick up my hopefully yet done armor from the smith.
Indeed. Good idea.
Not sure if you've ordered something, but I cannot feel naked.
Are they still open though?
He said we should come in the evening and pick it up.
Fair point.
It's
Let's
fairly
go.
late. Nothing wrong with checking it out. So you head to Trollskull Alley and go to the Steam and Steel smithy. Your neighbors, the couple of Genazi, Embrick and AV. As you see as you approach, there's still light in the smithy, although you hear no metal clanging noises. As you approach and knock at the door stands open, the frame of the door, you see Avi, just with her blue skin, her hair still tied up, her clothing fairly dirty, going around with a swoop of water that she just controls magically and cleaning up the floor, while Embrick, the red-skinned individual with flaming down hair, is cleaning up the surfaces of the smithy and is putting out the flames, taking care of ashes and such. Oh, we have company. I presume you have come for your purchases. Hi, welcome. I have everything ready. You paid up front. Anyway, so there you go. She just drops the water in a bucket and walks over to you. She's fairly dirty from a day's work, it seems, but presents you with a few packages, all of them wrapped up and like little presents almost, with some some notes on them that spell your name very ornately written. Well, this is for our dwarven friend Rurik. There you go.
Thank you.
And you feel the package is heavy, as you know. It's your armor. And Rune, that is. And there you go. Yours is fairly bigger. Appears to be like round with like shield in there. There you go.
Thank you.
I think that was everything, yes?
Yeah. Tamron already has his armor on.
As you see Tamron kind of testing his armor, stabbing himself. It worked out. It's so comfortable. Like literally.
Don't kill Red so in this away.
And he seems to be fairly happy with it.
I think Blath was unconscious last time.
Yes, that was the session you were not around.
Yeah.
You were checking out the tavern. You I have not met yet. Another friend of yours, presume?
Yes. Unfortunately, we didn't get to meet earlier. My name is Blath. It's very nice to meet you.
Pleasure. My name's AV, and that's my husband, Embrick. Or rather, we are smiths. I am very very, very proficient with everything that protects people, shields, armor, as well as everything that looks nice. While he is good at everything that can do some damage, pretty much, destroy stuff, hurt stuff, protect stuff, but in another way, I presume.
I'm watching Tamron going. Looks like you're doing a very good job. I could be interested in some armor for myself.
At least your friends seem to enjoy themselves, as she kind of gestures to Tamron, who's still with his hood up, is kind of flexing his muscle. That's like, it's so comfortable, like literally. And while he stuffs himself. What are you looking for, Blath? That is the question. I have light armor, medium armor, and heavy
He's
armor.
quickly googling stats and prices. Sorry.
What armor is Blath wearing?
He's currently got
Is it
how am I
light?
forgetting this? Leather armor. Yeah, it's light armor.
Gotcha.
He wants medium. Just in-game terms.
Those
Maybe.
could impose disadvantage on you. You can also look all that up in the compendium in the page, by the way. If you just type in armor and scroll down to rules armor, you get all the different things.
Yeah, I'm looking at a chain shirt.
Yeah, that would be the thing that could upgrade your AC.
Yeah.
What is it right now? 14?
I'm at 12 now.
Whoa.
Oh, you only have
The armor is only 11. I've got 1 dex.
Gotcha. Yeah, that medium definitely makes sense. A lot of sense,
Yeah.
actually.
I would even go as far as say maybe go even higher than a chain shirt, because with 1 dex, the disadvantage on stealth doesn't do that much damage anymore.
Oh wait, yeah, scale mail's
No,
actually
but
more
he wants
interesting.
he wants to be sneaky.
No,
No,
I've given up on the sneaky.
Alrighty.
I've never
Then I
been
would-
able to
yeah.
sneak.
So you
Go
described to her
scale.
what you wish for, and like, well, I would like some more protection, and well, she mentions about like can make sounds, obviously. That is something fairly cheap and precious, as your friend Rune, for example, is wearing a scale mail as well, and he
And
might
looking
tell you
beautiful.
and he has survived so far, even although maybe suffering some damage. But I could procure something like that, even made of scales of dragons or something like that.
Not right now, but
they
later.
are more expensive. But a scale mail is fairly cheap to make. I still have some lying around. Do you have any preferences on what type of metal the color should be?
He's starting to think something light. At the same time as something dark. Some type of yellow would be nice.
Yellow.
Are you talking bronze? Brass?
Yes.
Yeah, we could do bronze or brass. That is fairly cheap as well. I mean, bronze. Let's a brass armor is possible. We will smith everything. I actually have one steel scale mail lying around, and I will put in some alloys of brass to change the color. If you're down for that. That one has been used yet repaired. So for 50 gold pieces, I showed put the alloy on. That
sounds lovely. There's only one problem.
What is it?
Oh,
I'm
you
sure
see,
we can fix it.
Currently, the financial situation is a little bit unstable.
I will get 5 platinum coins and throw them against Blath's head.
How fucking rich are you, dude? What? Okay.
How come you are broke? Like literally.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have I forgotten to?
I think you have forgotten to write down, because you won like when we split the loot.
I literally wrote down the session you were away. I wrote down all platinum pieces in your sheet and subtracted fees and such. There should be a PP for platinum piece.
No, I've got nothing on PP. I've got no PP. I've got 4 EP.
Okay, something has happened with your character sheet, because that should be.
Yeah, because currently it says 18 gold, 4 EP, 9 silver, and no copper.
You should have
that doesn't sound right.
10 platinum pieces now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Then I'll not throw my platinum at you, because you should have your own.
That is
only joking. Only joking.
Yeah. Well,
sounds
then.
Like a great offer.
So you slide over 5 platinum pieces to her.
Mm-hmm.
I shall have it ready tomorrow evening if you want to grab it. Otherwise, I can bring it to your mansion. if that is yours already. But from how you act, you seem like neighbors. So, just tell me, you want to grab it or shall I send it to you?
Oh yeah, actually, the best would be for me to drop by later. Thank you.
Well then, I see you tomorrow.
Thank you
Pleasure
very
doing
much.
business with you all. Sleep well. She kind of
Same to you.
waves you goodbye. Alrighty. Anything else you would like to do once you're in the region?
Is the gold worm still open? Or the bookworm, sorry. The bookworm.
Looking down the streets, yes, there's still light inside.
Because I remember I had something I wanted to check if I can sell it to that guy. I totally forgot I had that in my inventory.
Oh, is the cool one.
So I'll walk up there and...
Yeah, you have quite some things in your inventory that you...
Yeah, I have one specific thing that he might be interested in, namely a spell book.
Ooh, heavier now. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you approach... Your other guys follow?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
we follow.
you all approach the bookworm's treasure and shove open the doors. You hear that little ding ding above your heads. At the end of the room, you hear someone falling over. Well, I must have been sleeping. Apologies. As he
Excuse the disturbance, Rishal. I didn't mean
it
to.
is fairly late. I wanted to close up. But since you're here, what can I do for you?
And I'll rummage around in my backpack and produce
Rishal
the spellbook you got from the half orc in the sewers.
All right.
And lay it on the table. We don't have use for it, but I think it's more along your expertise.
Well, I'm always interested in modern knowledge. May I?
Yes,
He
take a look.
already has his hands on there. Scroll through. Interesting. Some of Steam's spells I do not even have in my current repertoire. I might be interested in it. What do you charge?
What is the usual rate?
Well, I'd say 200 gold pieces, but since we are well acquainted, I think we can lower that price a little, can we not?
I was about to suggest the same thing. To start our relations.
As a show of good faith. Then the 175 gold pieces it shall be, yes?
175. I'll look at the others. Sounds good, doesn't it?
You're fine, Rune. You shall decide. You know me. My brain is all about numbers and shinies, so I would even charge more. And just laughing, looking at the golden dragonborn.
Alrighty. He counts out 17 platinum pieces and 5 gold pieces for you. There you go. Pleasure doing business with you, but unless there's anything else, I really need to go.
No,
to sleep.
we were just in the area, and I thought to myself, why carry
Well,
around with
always
me?
come around if you have any stories to share and knowledge like this one. Yes.
Definitely. We'll still invite you for the tea. We just got the deed, but we'll need to restore the building before we can.
Remember, I know I'll never forget. Yes. I see you in the coming days.
Hopefully, yes.
Have
a good evening.
The mage hand opens the door for you and be gone now, gentlemen, and pushes it close to you.
Okay.
Alrighty. That's everything, though, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Should be everything.
So you head back to the Yawning Portal. You are in Trollskull in the Northwoods still. And walk back from Trollskull Alley to the Yawning Portal Tavern. The roads are surprisingly quiet.
I'd definitely keep an eye out for birds.
you slow-paced torches walk through the streets as you almost see no peasant at all, and silence takes place. In the distance, you hear a faint as you bow into an alleyway. Blath, you walk in first. Something quick approaches from the side, and that is where we're gonna have to break. Just because
Son of shit.
Damn
it. No,
I so
you
knew it.
jinxed it. You jinxed it so hard, Blath.
Well, I should have got that wording.
I knew it.
I'm not scared. It's fine.
Well, I always knew it. I said I knew it because of. I'm sure now, because of tension peak and what is coming, we're gonna have a cliffhanger, and
always, always.
I love it.
Alrighty, you guys.
Master.
That's it for the first half. I say we take a break for around 40 minutes. Let's just say,
Okay.
yeah, let's just say quarter past.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Seems like
Okay.
the number. All right. So see you then. I will grab some food. Until then, you guys,
All right.
viewers, stay tuned. We
See
shall
you.